5 years ago, they sold us a paradise. All the movies and shows you could want for less than the price of a lunch. No torrents, no sketchy websites. Piracy was declared dead. But by 2024, the cops twitched. Piracy sites visits exploded to a staggering 216 billion. And the most terrifying part, streaming giants that once killed it are the ones who brought it back to life. As a result, a new generation now pirates as a matter of course, because pirate sites now offer a better, more unified experience than the legal options. This consumer shift is so dramatic that the industry is staring down 114 billion in losses by 2027. So, how did we get here? I'm Inishev, and today we are breaking down the resurrection of piracy and how streaming services handed it the shovel. What I'm about to tell you won't be streaming on Netflix, so subscribe while you still can. Once upon a time, people could pay $7.99 a full month for Netflix full ad-free library of television and movies. Now, Netflix subscribers have to make a choice: pay $17.99 a month to maintain their ad-free experience, or downgrade to Netflix standard with ads. When Disney Plus launched in 2019, it promised affordable family entertainment for just $6.99. Today, its premium ad-free plan costs $19. Similarly, HBO Max started at $14.99, but its top-tier plan now climbs to $21. But the problem is that you can't just pick one service anymore. Your favorite shows are locked to specific services: Parks and Recreations on Peacock, Sex and the City on HBO Max, Star Wars on Disney+, Bridgerton on Netflix. To watch it all, you need a stack of subscriptions, and that adds up. The average American now spends $508 a year on streaming, but rising prices was just the beginning. In 2017, a single tweet from Netflix defined a generation's mindset. Love is sharing a password, they say, and people agreed to that. Families shared their accounts, friends used one login, college students, divorced couples, weekend travelers, all were welcomed under this banner of love. But that love affair ended the moment its stock price dipped. In 2022, after Netflix suffered its first ever subscriber loss, the company that built its brand on connection performed a stunning reversal. The 100 million households practicing the love they championed were suddenly labeled thieves. The multi-billion-dollar corporation had discovered that love, it turns out, isn't free. In 2023, Netflix transformed from a streaming service into a digital landlord. The new crackdown meant your account was no longer yours. It was tied to a single household. Log in from a hotel or a college dorm, and you'd be hit with a screen demanding proof of residence. The result? Students were locked out, business travelers were cut off, and the simple act of sharing with family was reclassified as a premium feature costing an extra $6.99 a month. The company that sold the connection was now charging a toll for it. Disney, Hulu, and HBO Max copied Netflix Playbook, turning the entire industry against password sharing overnight. The very companies that built their empires on convenience suddenly started treating their subscribers like common criminals. This move shattered a fundamental trust with customers, a bond that isn't easily repaired. Yet, as damaging as that was, it was merely a prelude. Another mistake came from HBO. The company invested a fortune into Westworld, spending $10 million per episode on the fourth season, Emmy-nominated flagship series that defined their brand. Then, Warner Bros. Discovery simply deleted it. The reason? To avoid paying residuals to the cast and crew. The studio chose to erase its own masterpiece rather than compensate the people who made it. But it didn't end there. In February 2025, HBO Max removed 80 shows in the single day. Subscribers woke up to gutted watch lists as Cartoon Network classics and series that defined a generation vanished overnight. Parents found only empty pages where beloved shows once were. That was the practice of destroying art to save money. Even Disney joined it, pulling series from Disney Plus without explanation, leaving families without the shows they watch together. And while streaming services were turning on their customers, a perfect rival was emerging from the last place anyone expected: the Internet Underground. Modern piracy has blossomed, offering everything streaming services once promised. The sketchy, malware-ridden sites are gone, replaced by sleek platforms like F-Movies and Hexa. They boast clean, intuitive interfaces, instant HD streaming, and flawless mobile design, all without ads or the constant threat of content removal. These sites have become the Internet's permanent library, free from geographic restrictions and the revolving door of licensed content. The childhood cartoon HBO deleted or the series Netflix cancelled are still available in full. While streaming executives focused on quarterly profits and password crackdowns, pirates focused on user experience and triggered the largest migration in internet history. Just 5 years ago, piracy had hit historic lows with 130 billion visits as streaming appeared to have won the war. But by 2024, visits exploded to 216 billion, a 66% surge in just 4 years. This revival is being led by Gen Z. A striking 76% admit to pirating content while still paying for subscriptions. They aren't abandoning legal services, but skillfully using both systems to get what they want. Half have cancelled a subscription in the last 6 months, signaling a clear rebellion. This isn't a niche trend. In Sweden, a quarter of the population pirates. Globally, manga piracy grew 347% between 2019 and 2024. All over the world, a staggering 24% of all internet traffic now goes to piracy sites. This is no longer a fringe activity. It's a mainstream behavior. But this modern piracy wave is different from the old days. 80% of it is now streaming-based. People aren't downloading files, but treating pirate sites as alternative Netflix platforms. And this isn't surprising. When services fail users, they find something better. The ultimate irony is that this consumer rebellion is set to cost the industry a projected $113 billion by 2027, making this the most expensive self-inflicted mistake in entertainment history. The financial toll of digital piracy is immense, with the US losing up to $71 billion annually. The losses are staggering. Disney's streaming division bled $387 million in a single quarter of 2023. While Warner Bros. Discovery posted a catastrophic $10 billion loss in the second quarter of 2024. This isn't just abstract finance, it's real money, vanishing jobs, and devastating consequences. The piracy resurgence cost 70,000 American jobs every year. Careers for sound engineers, writers, and crew erased. Stock prices reflect the panic, with Disney shares dropping and Warner Bros. Discovery becoming a cautionary tale of corporate mismanagement. Executives who assumed customers were trapped are learning a harsh lesson. Customers always have another choice. And here is the shocking truth. The industry has no idea when piracy may begin to decline and how to fix this mess. And why would they? They fail to understand that when legal options become inconvenient and overpriced, customers find alternatives. When companies prioritize short-term profits, they don't just lose customers, they create their own competition. So let's call it. The streaming wars are over. And the customers won. Armed with the resurrected ghost of piracy, they've handed the industry the most expensive lesson in its history. Never take your audience for granted.